Hello, welcome to the Justia Videos channel. In this third series of clips about SEO for law firms, we will talk about advanced citation and link building for SEO. In this clip, we will review how to use third-party tools focusing on SEMrush to reach your competitors' backlinks and the domains that link to them. If you want to see more Justia videos on law practice and legal marketing, be sure to subscribe to our channel.
But today I want to really focus in on how you can use some of these third-party tools to research your competitors' backlinks, and hopefully they'll give you some ideas of content and other places you can get your own backlinks at. So, saying that, let's sort of start and get this thing going. First, there are four sort of core tools that I use when looking up backlinks. I'm going to say on a daily basis, but at least weekly. That is SEMrush, Ahrefs, Moz, and Majestic. And they're all good. They all have different sort of data sets of backlinks in terms of looking at things. The main thing I'd point out is that when you're looking at someone else's website, you don't have Google's information. On your own website, you can go look at Google Search Console. But if you're looking at your competitors or anyone's website, looking at Justia's website, you really need these third-party tools to get an idea of what they're doing. And none of them are going to be complete. All of them are going to be slightly different in terms of what they show, but they can all be used in a certain way to really sort of study your different competitors and find out what they're doing in terms of their backlink profiles and backlink strategies. So for each of these tools, there's basically four core elements when looking at the backlinks of another website. The first is looking at the domains that are linking to that website. So you want you see another person's website, you look at it, you log into one of these tools, you say what domains are linking there. That is the most important tool that they have in terms of the backlink analysis. The second tool that these folks have is what pages on their website are getting backlinked, which often can give you ideas of content to write, but also tells you sort of what are they focused on in terms of trying to drive traffic to their website or driving link value. So that's, to me, that's the second most important one. The other two, the pages linking to your competitor's website, which is just the individual pages, normally you can look at it also as a subset of the pages within a domain, and the text linking to competitor's website, not quite as important. So I really focus on the first two when I'm doing a real analysis, looking things up. But normally I'll drive in from the domain down to the individual pages, just if I want to take a look at individual pages coming in from a domain over to a competitor's website. And the text links part, I primarily look at that if I'm looking to see if there's like some pure spam going on, or also for our own clients' websites, looking at the anchor text using these third-party tools is actually better than what you get with Google Search Console. So if you're not ranking for a particular term, you think that you might have some spam on your site, you might want to use one of these third-party tools to go ahead and look at your own website and see, have you overly done the anchor text for a particular term? And that does happen sometimes. So with that, let's sort of continue with this part. In terms of the four tools, SEMrush, Ahrefs, Moz, and Majestic, if I had to pick one, I'd pick SEMrush. And the second sort of choice would either be Ahrefs or Moz. And then my last one would be Majestic. Majestic's a little bit, it's not quite as good as the other three. But I think right now SEMrush is the one to go with. That costs $120 a month if you want to sign up for it yourself. Ahrefs and Moz are $100 a month, or Moz Pro in terms of using the tools that they have. They also have a lot of free information there as well. And Majestic is $50. But again, if I was a lawyer at a law firm and I wanted to start doing some of my own research, I would just start with SEMrush. That will keep you plenty busy. If you're doing a SEO for a lot of folks and you need to find the different nuances, sometimes you might want to subscribe to all four of these. And then there's even more than these four, just in terms of looking at different backlink data sets when you're doing your analysis. So we're going to focus on SEMrush because I think it's the best. So continue from there. First, we need a website to go take a look at. So we're going to go look at nstlaw.com. So this is Nehan Zaharovich and Trotz. They're a Memphis personal injury law firm. And I chose their site for a couple of reasons. One, they've done a number of things right in terms of their content and their backlink strategy. So it's nice that I can show some good examples of things that are going on. A lot of times you look at competitors' websites and it's, none of the links are any good. It's all just, a press release spam and things like that. But in this case, they have some really good examples. And the second thing is, they rank really well. So it's like the perfect one to go take a look at, because they've done a good job. They've done some real backlinking efforts for their website, and it gives some great sort of content ideas that you can follow yourselves. So first, if you come into SEMrush, you'll put the domain in at the very top here, and then you'll get the basic profile page for that domain. And all these tools have a lot more than backlinks, right? They can analyze your content, your keyword density, they can look at your pages. We're just focused on the backlink component of the tools today. So if I come here, I look here on the side here, I see, backlink building, and so we zoom in here. And we're going to click on the backlink analytics, the sort of the backlink profile page for NST Law. So here's this page right here. So this is like a quick snapshot of the backlink profile for NST Law, given what SEMrush sees. And again, what SEMrush sees is not exactly what Google has. Google has everything, right? SEMrush has a set, Moz has a set, Ahrefs has a set, Majestic. This is SEMrush's set. And sometimes you'll see a change in the number of domains, the number of links really jumping up. That might be because you've got a lot of new backlinks. It also might be because SEMrush suddenly indexed a bunch, many more sites that they weren't indexing previously. See, you don't always know. But from looking at a competitor's website, it's still a great place to find a snapshot of where SEMrush is showing backlinks to them at any current moment in time. So we're going to go take a look at this right now. So the first thing I would look at is the domains linking to the competitor's website. Again, I think this is the most important part in terms of analyzing a website for a competitor. Now, nothing, this will get you the core part. So if I go back here to the backlinks profile page, I can see right here referring domains. I'll zoom in here a little bit. I'm going to click on here on this 818 here. Just going to click on that, and it's going to give me a list of the backlinks in NST Law. Now, the initial way it shows this to me is it organizes it or lists them by the number of backlinks. I'm going to want to change that up, and it's giving me all backlinks as well. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit, and I'm going to do a couple things. One, I'm going to focus in on the active backlinks. I don't want to look at backlinks that they had that they lost right now. If later on, if I have a lot of extra time on my hands, maybe I go look at their previous backlink profile. But right now, I want to look at the active backlinks that SEMrush is showing. And I'm going to go look at the follow backlinks. So if you remember the previous webinar, I talked about follows and no follow links. I'm going to look at the follows. It doesn't mean that there might not be some value from having no follow links. There can be. But if I'm going to focus my time, I'm going to start my time by focusing on the current links and those that have follows. Those are sort of the initial ones to take a look at. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to list these by what SEMrush considers the domain name strength. Because if I just list it by number of links or some other order, every website has it. You're just going to have a bunch of low quality random spam sites out there that have either scraped your site and it's now linking back to you, and a bunch of random blogs that are linking to. Everybody has that part. But if I look at the higher quality domains from SEMrush's perspective, at least I'll be sort of get a basic idea of what some of the better websites are that they have. And better to start with the better websites and then move down from there. So after clicking all those buttons and the order comes back, I get the results here. Let's just zoom in here a little bit. So I can see I got, MySpace is first. I have business.site, which is a Google business profile mini site. Cornell, Biz Journals, Cobe, or might be mispronouncing that. That's a sort of social network. U.S. News, FindLaw, Justia, BuzzFeed, and the ABA, American Bar Association. And there's more beyond this part. So I take a look at this. I sort of look at this. I look at their backlinks. Okay, the first thing that I like to do when looking at someone's backlinks is I just like to look at the core domains. And this is just going to take me to the home pages of these domains, not the individual links that are coming in. But I just want to get a quick sense of what sort of sites they're linking to them, because often that'll tell me a little bit about their linking strategy. So they focused on, social networks, or they focused on news sites, lawyer directories, obviously, or a set of them. So I'm just going to click on these little links right here, which is, if you look here, there's a little icon that would open these in a new window, and then I'll just take a look at them. So I'll do that right now. I'll just give you a quick sort of snapshot of what I see with NST. So first one, MySpace, which you guys might not remember this, but this was the Facebook of its time, or the TikTok of its time. I don't know what the current thing the kids are doing. So MySpace was the first one listed. They have a MySpace profile. The business.site goes to google.com, Google My Business login page, because it's part of that. So it's just a redirect, but that's the Google Business one. All right, we have Cornell, business journals. All right, this is that Cove site. All right, U.S. News and World Report, FindLaw, Justia, BuzzFeed, okay, ABA, and then here's a few others. Sophos, Super Lawyers, Zoom Info. This is Foremark, ArtMite, Brown Book, Fox 13, Action News 5. Okay, so quickly running through it, I see some sort of news sites. I see a bunch of sort of social sites. I see some sites which are news, but maybe not quite. Maybe they got a mention, or maybe they have a profile in there for commenting. And then I have some business directories, and I have these news sites here at the end. I also removed a few. A couple were 404s, and a couple I had the sites were no longer found. So again, SEMrush, that snapshot I'm looking at, I'm not going to say it's current to the minute. Domains come and go a little bit on things, or web pages come and go. But there were a few that had 404s, or just at least the homepage wasn't allowing me to get to it. So I just removed those. So anyways, it gives me a quick overview. So it looks like a good mixture of sites, right? It's a nice sort of mix on terms of things. So I go back to the page here, the domains part, and let me just zoom in on this a bit. And I'm going to go take a look at a few of the backlinks within each of these domains. So this is sort of the core bread and butter of looking at a competitor's website. You go into the domains, you look at their better domains, and then you start digging into their backlinks. And this is sort of how you do it. So you go here, I see backlinks, there's one. I expand that. Okay, that's fine. And here's the backlink here at myspace.nstlaw. This looks Little Rock, I guess, for this one. And I open this one. Okay, and this is it. It's a generic MySpace profile page. Okay. All right, zoom in over here. Here's the link. So fine. It's a profile page. Do I think having a free profile page on MySpace is going to be as good as, I don't know, having a link from the ABA? No. But again, the organization is that of these domains is by how strong the particular homepage of the domain or the overall domain is. And MySpace, even though it's fallen on tougher times in the last decades, still has a lot of links into it. And so it still has a strong link value that SEMrush sees. But again, it's a profile page. It's a free one. You guys can all set up your own. That's fine. The one other thing I noticed here, they don't seem to have any connections or friends, and there's no photos up. There's not a lot of information. So it's a very sort of minimalistic profile page here on MySpace. They're not participating a lot here. Okay, that's one. Let's look at another one here. Let's look at business site. This was the one we saw on the Google Business profile. So we'll zoom in here. We'll open up the backlinks. In this case, there's 80 backlinks, and you'll see we have some here that say lost. I only wanted the ones that were active. I didn't want lost ones, but I'm looking at the domain as a whole, and when I expand this up, it's also showing me the lost ones. So I'm gonna have to view some more. So I'm gonna click down here in the bottom where it says view full report, and that'll open up a report. Again, these are backlinks to nstlaw.com just from the business.site domain. And I'll mouse down a little bit. Okay, all right, here's one I can take a look at. So here's some that I could jump in and examine. So let me go zoom in here a bit. I will click on this link to take a look at the business.site page, and we'll take a look at it. All right, here we go. So it's a business.site. All right, so this is one of these pages Google makes off your information, off your Google business profile. I can mouse down a little bit. Each of these learn mores are actually links over to their website. If you were to click in there and examine them. There's some more, some testimonials, some photos from the photo gallery, and map. And if I go down here, you can see it's powered by Google, right there. So again, this is a free website. I don't know exactly how much value Google would give to it. It is a Google produced website, so maybe a little bit more than others, but it's free, and you can certainly create one for your own Google business profile page if you'd like to. This is, it's a little mini site builder. and it'll be on some subdomain of business on site. They'll be there. So again, it's the subdomain, it's not the main domain. The strength probably isn't that high in terms of the value of the links, but at least when you look at this site compared to like your MySpace profile, it looks good, right? It looks like a nice, good, clean site. It looks like some real effort, and it's a nice site. Okay, let's go down a little bit further. Let's look at the ABA. All right, so American Bar Association. Zoom in. I'm going to open this one up. So this one has 6 links. It's showing me 5. I could click on View Report. I could see one more, but it's no big deal. The first thing I noticed, by the way, about the ABA is they allow their development and QA servers to be indexed by SEMrush. So in general, I wouldn't do that, right? I just don't need to have your QA website indexed or your development server indexed. But anyways, leaving that aside, these links are actually also on the www main site. So I actually opened them up. So we'll open this one up. And if I flip this one to www, and this is a page about bulletproof resources for educators. And again, we go back here. You'll see here that the anchor text and the target URL, this is Child Safety Internet that NST Law has wrote. So this is not back to their homepage. This is actually going to a Safety Center page. And it's linked off this bulletproof resources for educators. And I sort of mouse down a little bit. And there it is, the Child Internet Safety Guide. And they're also in a few other pages on the ABA site, all involving internet safety for kids, educators, for parents, is different pages that the ABA has put together. And if you click on that, you'll come to this page on their site. So this is a child internet safety guide. It's part of their overall guides that they have here on the NST Law site. But it's just a page, right? It's not a huge center for this particular individual page. It is part of a larger center that they worked on, which is this Child Safety Resources Center. But the links in this particular one are coming out to internet safety. So there's 2 things I would note. One, child internet safety, probably a good thing to write about if you're looking for links, right? A lot of people are concerned about the internet and children, and they're looking for resources and for legal information that can help parents or educators or anyone who sort of works with kids. So it's a great content to write, even if it's not directly related to, say, car accidents. There's still plaintiffs that get injured by the internet, and that could still slightly ties into injury, if not your bread and butter type injury cases. So there is a tie in there with personal injury in this particular instance. The other thing is, people like to help kids, and it's a lot of people are looking for information to help children. So they have this whole Child Safety Resources Center, which is very nice. A little bit further, again, I'm looking at the domains that are linking over to NST Law. And I'm going to pick up this University of Winnipeg site, and I'm going to look at that, open that up there, and I quickly see this more cyberbullying links, right? Child internet safety, right? Same thing that we just saw with the ABA. And the reason I bring this up is that they seem to be getting some real folks who are linking over to this, and I wonder how they get all these links. Well, this one will help us sort of see what they did. So I'm going to open this up into a new page, and here's articles and cyberbullying materials and safety tips for kids. And again, it looks like a website from 1998, right? The tables just came out, and all of a sudden you have different color backgrounds, very exciting times. So it looks old. All the links are underlined, which is nice. If we mouse down here, we'll see the child internet safety sort of link over to the NST website. And you can see that this was actually suggested by Benjamin Scott, PR coordinator, right? So they actually had a PR person go out and mention this. The thing I want to point out is you can find the backlinks of folks of your competitor sites. You still need to contact these websites and ask them to link to you, right? So you say, hey, I got a great resource. You have to write an email out to it, ideally personalized email a little bit to each of the websites you're reaching out to. And then, explain what your resource is, give the link to it, and hopefully they'll add a link to it, add a backlink to your website. It has to be on point, to the content that you're trying to get, of the page that you're trying to get the link from, but it's work. And in this particular case, they had Benjamin Scott, PR coordinator, was the person who submitted it out. So just wanted to point that out. But again, another site that's linking over to their child internet safety page, right? Here it is. It's a good page, but it's a page, right? And you already saw 2 very valuable links coming to this one page of content. Okay, I'm going to do one other thing while looking through these domains here, just to show you some random stuff that happens to everybody. I'm going to go take a look at Blogspot backlinks, just backlinks that are coming in from Blogspot. Now, Blogspot is Google's free blog hosting service. So if you want a Blogspot blog, you can certainly get one at blogspot.com. It's sort of used to be competitive with WordPress, but not quite the same. But it's run by Google, and here's just a bunch of them that are backlinking over to them, and we're just going to open these up. So you can start to see, I organize these by the strength that Google sees. So these are the stronger ones, and I'm not going to click through all these, but I'll click through a few. So here's that Blogspot part, and let's take a look at a few of these. Again, clicking on the little icon to open these up, just to get a quick idea what we have here. Okay, looks like some folks that have content up to run ads. Fine, that's a generic blog. Generic blog, looks like maybe like PR newsletter stuff or something. It's a car accident mini blog, probably a bunch of lawyers getting some backlinks off this at the time. Another accident lawyer one, again, probably made mostly for backlinks. Looks like, Houston, Salt Lake City, Las Vegas, Chattanooga, a bunch of folks. All right, John's life space disclaimer. I don't know, John's life space. I think the disclaimer should be on a separate line, but fine, so someone's random site. Another one seems to have just a bunch of random businesses here. Again, looks maybe a little bit like news releases, things like that. And here's one that's just pure link spam, right? Some of the Blogspot ones are like this. It happens, right? Like, I'm not overly worried about this. Like, if our clients had this, I would be overly worried about it. Everyone's going to have some junk links on Blogspot stuff. So you'll see that. You'll look at your backlinks, look at competitors, go, oh, look, they have all these junky backlinks. You go, yeah, Google's pretty good at discounting this stuff out. It's not really an issue here. It might be that some of them are from doing, news releases, or not using PR Newswire or Business Wire, but using sort of these online ones, which just load up all these sites with, breaking press releases and things like that. But it's fine. I don't see anything huge here on that part. But everybody has some of this. Justia has some of this too. But I did want to look at a few that they actually obviously produce themselves. So here we've got one that's for Jonesboro. The style sheets are messed up on this one. They should fix it and republish it, but that's the side thing. Here's another one that they have here for Little Rock. Here's one for Jackson, Mississippi. Here's St. Louis. And here's Memphis. Okay, that's fine. Everybody can have a Blogspot blog if you want. It's not, it's like having a profile on any sort of social media stuff. I'd say a couple of things that just quickly stand out. It's a blog, no blog post, right? They have one page. So that's not really using it as a blog, sort of the way it could be used. And it seems pretty obvious, sort of made for getting backlinks over. So let's take a look at the Memphis one here for a second. And let's just zoom in on these links, right? Let's go here. Okay, that looks like interesting keyword-rich links going back. All right, right here. Now, normally, if I saw this coming into like a client's website, and I knew they controlled this, which most of the time they do, I would say, don't do this to your website. So if you remember from the previous webinar we had, I said, don't load things up with keywords and link it back to your site. It looks spammy immediately. Like immediately I looked at this page, I go, oh, look at, they're spamming up all their internal pages to their site. They're trying to cheat Google in a way. And I go, they can't do that. So don't do this, all right? I walked through it and I said, take a couple words, you have words around it, get picked up. Anyways, go watch the previous webinar if you haven't seen it in terms of how the best way to do links. But this, if you did this to your own website, so all of a sudden you don't rank for that particular term. It's not good. We certainly have seen it in the past with folks. However, these links are not going back to their website. The only link going back to their website is that first one, the nstlaw.com one. These links are actually going over to social profiles, other social profiles, MySpace, right? Stuff like that. And so what they're doing here is they're putting keywords over to social profiles, and then those social profiles probably link back to their website. And the feeling is, well, I have keywords that'll make that social profile seem more about these terms. And then when that link comes that social profile back over, that'll look better. All right, so I get it. And we'll go look at these social profiles in a second. But don't do it. Just put list out the social profile names. You're getting such a minimalistic value from having keywords on this blog, this Blogspot blog, which doesn't rank much anyways. to link to social profiles, which is fine. There's no big deal about that. That any value you got, it's way overcome by the fact that someone sees this and it looks like spam. And if they didn't dig in and sort of look and realize sort of what you're doing, they could say, hey, you're trying to spam your own site up. And even indirectly, it's a little bit of that. So just no need to get caught up in that. This Google can pick this up, and you certainly wouldn't want to have something else happening. Again, I don't think this is going to cause them any issues. This minimalistic sites linking to random profiles. But if you're doing your own, fine. You want to make a Blogspot blog, you want to link to all these different profiles, okay, that's fine. But don't do it this way. Just list out the names. You're not getting much value out of it. But anyways, let's go quickly take a look at the profiles that this is linking to. First, the homepage of their site. That's good. I did an About Me page. Okay, About Me, they were a company for a bit, and they got bought by AOL, and they're still there. And you look at About Me, by the way, it has the angel list, has the link to their blogger, link to Tumblr and WordPress right there at the very bottom of the page. So I don't know if you noticed that. Okay, here's one going to their angel list profile page. All right. All right, Gravatar, it's a great looking icon there. All right, this is the Art Mite page. Remember we saw them earlier, Art Mite. And they have some external links to About Me, Trello, the Coop site, and Discus. Here's Trello, all right? And they have some cross links to About Me, their angel list, and their Blogspot for Memphis, and their Art Mite site. So anyways, cross-linking the social media stuff up here a little bit. Here's the Cold one. All right, this is a Brave Sites site. Here's their BuzzFeed. So their BuzzFeed was actually a profile for comments. It wasn't a mention in BuzzFeed. All right, let's take the note here. Board Panda, I mean, that's good. Community member, no followers, hasn't done anything, but it's, Board Panda. All right, Daigo, something I'm probably mispronouncing that. And look, they have links to the Coop, Discus, Trello, and About Me. Here's their Discus one, again, links back to their website. MySpace, remember we saw them. Wikidot, all right, Spreaker, all right. All right, Flip HTML5, all right. This one no longer exists. This is Mad Cloud site, the profile's gone. Here's a profile on Head. Here's one on Home Talk. Here's one on ForShared. And Informer. And then going back to the ones that they had linked, but not on their Blogspot one, Tumblr, and Facebook, both of which are real pages, especially the Facebook one, they actually do quite a bit on. Tumblr, probably similar to the others, not doing too much right now. So first thing is, nothing wrong with having it. Look, here's my About Me page. I've had this forever, right? I updated my photo when I did this talk because I realized I had not looked at it in like 10 years. But there it is. And I have links to Twitter and my WordPress. It's actually going to my dog's WordPress one, YouTube channel, whatever the other pages that we have. That's fine. It's no big deal on that part. And here's my Linktree one, which they don't even have yet. But if you were on Instagram, a lot of people use Linktree as the way to add links to your profile. I would say just a couple of things when doing this or doing the social profiles. One, if you want the social profiles to give you better quality backlinks, participate in the communities and focus on the text in your profile text, right? So if you looked at the profile text of all these social profiles, I'm not gonna go back and re-show them, but if you looked at them, they were the same on every single one. So I would make them a little bit different on them, and on each one, I'd make it slightly different. And I'd also, you can have them all the same if you really don't care, if you just save time, but I'd make it a little bit different. And I try to participate in the communities. Those profiles are more valuable. Like I participate on Angel List, so I'm connected to people, I do things. It's something. Just putting up an Angel List profile where you're not doing anything, you're not, part of any companies or not doing, participating in anything, not quite as valuable. It's just like anything. It's just a throwaway profile. You're not gonna get much value from it. So I would try to participate a bit, and I would look at the SEO value, going back to my site, is really being the text within and the content within that particular profile. So try to make it not duplicate, try to break it out, and then try to connect, get you some more cross links as well. I'm not saying this is bad. I mean, obviously I wouldn't do this part, don't do that. But other than that, this is fine, but it's not providing a lot of value. And it's something that you'll see lots of people doing and it'll pop up. So when you go through it, I'll leave it there. I wouldn't spend a lot of time on this stuff, but certainly the social networks that I participate in, I'd like to get it. And I also like to get the name Justia everywhere because I don't want someone else getting it. And I had to fight to get back our Instagram name because I wasn't on top of that the first week. And stuff like that. So, there are reasons for that from a branding standpoint. You might want to do it. But anyways, this is fine, but don't do the spam part.
We hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more law practice and legal marketing videos. See you in our next clip.